What the Ladybird Heard by Julia Robinson and Lydia Monks. On Christmas Eve, when the sun was low and the fields and woods were white with snow, the Ladybird set off to spend a couple of nights with a spider friend. The spider lived in a big old house with people and pets and a small white mouse. And the small white mouse said squeak, 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 and the hamster's wheel went creak, creak, creak. The parrot squawked, the canary sang, and the spider twanged her web, twang, twang. The Great Dane snored and the Siamese purred, but the Ladybird never said a word. But the Ladybird saw, and the Ladybird heard. She saw two men with a big black van, a ladder, a sack, and a cunning plan. The Ladybird already knew they were Lanky Len and Hefty Hugh. She heard Hugh whisper, "Listen, Len, we'll wait until it's night, and then, when Santa Claus has been and gone, we'll put our fancy costumes on. You'll look lovely as an elf, and I'll be Santa Claus himself. We'll climb to the chimney, then down we'll slide, and before we know it, we'll be inside." Said Len, "They say that house is haunted, but we're both brave, we won't be daunted. Later on, those girls and boys will have their stockings filled with toys. We'll take those stockings off their beds, they won't wake up, the sleepy heads. And even if they do awake, they'll think we've come to give, not take." The two thieves chuckled, "Ha, ha, ha, what clever, crafty chaps we are." Then the little spotty Ladybird, who hardly ever said a word, told the others what she'd heard. And the mouse said squeak, and the wheel went creak, and both the birds gave a piercing shriek. The spider scuttled, the Great Dane growled, and the Siamese arched her back and yowled. And all the pets said, "How unpleasant, we can't let them steal one single present." But the Ladybird had a good idea, and she whispered it into each animal ear. Then they found a sheet of the perfect size, and the parrot pecked 2 holes for eyes. The spider spun, and the Siamese cat slunk out to chat to a friendly bat. Upstairs, the children, Flo, Fleur, Fred, and little Finn, were snug in bed. Then Santa came with treats and toys for all 4 lucky girls and boys. The thieves kept watch until he'd gone. Then they put their fancy costumes on. They climbed to the chimney and down they slid. "They're here," hissed the cat, and the pets all hid. The small white mouse was ready. Hop! She leapt and crept inside Len's top, and Lanky Len began to whine, "There's fingers crawling up my spine." The hamster's wheel creaked round and round, and Hugh said, "That's an eerie sound." The spider wound her silky threads all around the robbers' heads. And Len said, "This is awfully rummy." "I'm scared," cried Hugh. "I want my mummy." The Siamese cat let out a yowl. "Oh, crumbs," said Len, "a ghastly howl." The canary sang, "Beware, beware," as they turned the corner off the stair, and there they saw a dreadful sight. Something scary, tall and white. That second the parrot shouted, "Boo! Help! A ghost!" yelled Len and Hugh. They fell downstairs and they charged outside, but who was waiting? "Bats!" they cried, and frightened for their lives they ran all the way back to their big black van. The bats flapped after the 2 bad men, and they never went back to the house again. Then the small white mouse said squeak, 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 and the hamster's wheel went creak, creak, creak. The parrot squawked, the canary sang, and the spider twanged her web, twang, twang. The Great Dane woofed, and the Siamese purred, but the Ladybird never said a word.